I want to tell you about the knife. I had one too. I found it in a glass case in a pawn shop, nestled among the costume jewelry like a snake in a flower bed. It had a dark green handle, inlaid with mother of pearl. A blade that flipped out from it with a satisfying snick, but I chose it, for the way it conformed to the curve of my ankle inside my boot. The way it hid in my fist, sweat slipped to my palm, as perfectly concealed as it was easily accessible. You may not believe it to look at me, but I once knew your role in this ballet by heart. Even as I understudied the swagger of the boys in my neighborhood, I was all too studied in the choreography of dipping fingers casually into my pockets as if they were wrapping around a watch or a cigarette lighter instead of searching for the nearest sharp or heavy object, of pulling out that imaginary watch, pretending to read danger in its face instead of my own chest so it was understood the quickening of my footsteps was just because I had to get somewhere faster, not to keep heavy boots from stepping on my shadow. You can never let them see you're afraid. I spent a lifetime practicing not to look like prey. I'm still learning how not to look like a predator. This is the part they don't tell you about. When I transitioned from female to male, no one ever told me finally having a body I felt comfortable in would cause others so much discomfort. They braced me for the lengthening of my vocal cords and the corded muscles that would twine themselves around my stringy arms, for my skin to thicken, toughen like a hard patch of soil so new hairs would push through it coarse and tangle. They told me what transition looks like, feels like, but not what it walks like. Testosterone treatment has Frankensteined me into something you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley. A knife in my hands now will be a tool of aggression, not one of defense, so I've stopped carrying them. And I try to convince myself I don't need it. I don't miss the reassuring glint of steel in my fist so much harder than my bone knows how to be yet. No one holds their breath now when I walk into a men's room, but I often find myself holding mine until they walk out. The thin membrane of stall wall separating my skin from theirs seems inadequate, without the denim hide that hides the valleys where my monsters live. My thighs have been red seas parted by unwelcome hands, my landscape planted with harsh seeds that stripped my soil to wasteland. I have been colonized. I know what it is to dance with shadows in the night. Each footstep aimed to land hard enough to shake the fear from your spine uncurls a finger from my empty palm, an accusation of what a man's hands can do. Their strength now scares me as much as their weakness ever did. We are both dancing on point along a knife blade thin line that tries to quantify what skin is capable both of holding in and keeping out. What would it take for us both to feel safe in these bodies? These bodies break so easily, no matter which side of the knife you're on. Yeah!